right, good morning. Hi, Penelope. You ready? I'm ready too. I just opened my door here. Might be a little breeze, a little bit of a little chilly, but still nice. The birds are chirping. It's a quiet morning so far. So yes, good morning. Welcome to Gentle Yoga. We're going to get started here in just a minute. Good things to have. If you happen to have a seat cushion, you could use that. Even, pull a cushion off your couch. That could be your bolster, your seat cushion. I use a beach towel. It's bigger, right? Easier for when I roll it up, it makes a thicker surface. So that's the reason for the beach towel. We are going to start on our backs, laying down. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Facebook. Instagram. Hopefully everyone's ready. We're going to get this beautiful day going. Get it in before the rain comes. Hi Diane, hi. How's Instagram this morning? Hi, Instagram. Okay, so yeah, like I said, we're going to get started on our back. So find yourself a comfortable position. Supine, so that's laying on your back. If that might be entail a pillow underneath of your head, right? A lot of times when our posture is not great, the chin, when we lay down, the chin really jets up towards the ceiling. So if you can just put something real small in the back, the center of your skull there, then that helps to level out the chin. And at the same time, you can think about pulling the chin down towards the chest so that you can kind of make that better alignment yourself. My name is Aimee. Thanks for joining us today for Gentle Yoga. So we'll start on our back. I think I've said that like 3 times, 5 times, whatever. Then we'll come to seated. We'll do some seated poses, back to standing, and then we'll come back to the back to finish up a couple poses and our last rest. I forgot my watch for today, so there's another nice outdoor sound. Some airplanes, some jets. I happen to live in a flight pattern for we hear a lot of planes here. Okay, so I'm sure it is getting after 10, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna feel like I'm outside without really being outside. I've got this whole door open in front of me, so I'm looking forward to this. Good morning. Good morning, Debbie. All right, let's come on down. Comfortable for you. So I also want to be close enough so that you can hear me without me yelling, right? It's not really the type of class where I want to yell. So you might not be able to see my entire body. But for now, take your feet out to the outsides of the mat, and then let the knees fall in and knock knee in the center here. It takes some pressure off of the low back, opposed to when the legs are all the way out. The back gets a little bit of pressure on the arch. Start to focus on your breathing. In fact, you can take one palm on the abdomen and one on the heart. And as you take a nice big inhale, puff the abdomen up. So push the abdomen up towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, you let it fall down towards the floor. Inhale. Allow the hand to rise on the inhale, and then exhale. Allow it to fall. Continue with that. Inhale. Uh-oh. I hope no bees come in here. And exhale. I don't have a screen on the door. It's just open. Inhale. And exhale. Try to continue making each one of the inhales and the exhales a little bit longer. So lengthening the breaths. And then start setting an intention for yourself today. Keeping in mind any noises that you hear that might be a distraction to you. You'll recognize those, right? Because it's hard for us to totally ignore them. Recognize those and then let it go. Bring yourself back to right now. Might turn my Insta to the other. And letting go of any tension that you're feeling today in the body, in the mind. This is going to be our time to just be here on the mat. All right, go ahead and flutter your eyes open if they're not already. And then bring the knees into the chest one at a time here. Rock yourself back and forth a little bit and kind of take your hips and pull your spine longer. So at the same time as you're back and forth, you're taking the hips and kind of inching them forward. Right? And then hold the knees into the chest. I'm going to turn Insta real quick. Nope, can't do that. Let me put it up here. I mind those dogs. Dogs are barking. All right. Holding those knees into the chest. And then just start circling. Actually, let's pedal first. Pedal the feet. Right? Pedal the feet. Looking for some flexibility in the ankles. Pedal, pedal. And then hold steady, right? Now, keeping your hands, we can take them down by the side, or you're welcome to bring them on top of one knee if that is more comfortable for you. What we're going to do is drop the feet towards the floor, right? Engaging a little bit through the core. So draw your belly button in, right? Your spine is reaching towards the mat. So we're engaging the transverse abs before we start moving the legs. So you're going to take an inhale and drop one toe, tap it towards the floor, and then exhale and bring that back into the chest. Inhale as you drop, and exhale as you bring that in. Inhale as you drop, and then exhale, it comes back in. Continue there for a couple more. Do like maybe 2 more each leg. Inhale and exhale. And if you can, really keep your gaze up towards the ceiling. I find myself turning a lot because I want my voice to be projected towards the camera. So I will come back and forth with my neck. And hold here in the center. Take your hands and clasp them underneath of the thigh of your right leg. Right leg. Yep. And then extend that leg up towards the ceiling Hello, hamstring. And then back down. Again, extend that leg up towards the ceiling and then back down. Maybe your leg is not making it all the way straight. So this is going to depend on the flexibility of your hamstring. Again, meet yourself wherever you are today. Continue through that, straightening it up. Maybe each time you straighten it, you'll find that you're going a little bit straighter and down. One more time. Hold this at the top and now circle the ankles here. Circle, circle, circle. Other direction here. Since we're not doing a big movement, you can take another breath in and out, really focusing on that breath. Inhale and exhale, and then we'll hold the foot. Point flex here, so pedal it out. Feel the difference that this extended leg with the point and flex gives you in your calf muscle. Much more prominent feeling in the back of the calf with the legs straight here. Okay, hold. All right, we'll bend that leg down, and then we'll grab and reach under the opposite leg. If holding the free leg up, right, is not feeling good for you, then just drop that leg down to the floor. Place it on the mat, okay? All right, so let's go this side. Extend up and down. Again, take it time, right, because we are wakening up the ham. So just into the point where you start feeling a little bit of tension on the hamstring, and then back down. If you want to coordinate your breath, you can inhale on the way up and then exhale on the way down. Maybe you'd like to take your hands out to the side. You can do that as well. Again, as the ham starts warming up, a little more extension in the leg. Make sure you're flexing your quad, all right? That's what's gonna help you get this leg up to the ceiling. And by flexing the quad, then the hamstring, it enables the hamstring to extend a little bit more. One last time here. And then we'll circle this ankle. Take a breath in and out while we circle one direction. And then change the direction and take another breath. And one more as we point and flex. Again, feel the calf on this foot. The difference from when we did the point and flex with the knees in. And hold. Awesome job. Bring the knee down and in. And just rock the legs a little bit side to side here. Release any tension you might have been feeling in that back, the low back or the hips. All right, we'll settle those knees in center. And then once again, bring the right knee into the chest. And then take all 10 fingers and gently rest them on that right shin. Take your bottom leg, your left leg, and inch it out with your toes. Dig those toes in, inch that leg out so it's all the way straight to the floor. Straight, or your straight is one thing to keep in mind too. Breath in and out here. Breath in and out. Release your left hand, keeping your right hand on that shin, and take this knee bent in slow circles. If you're able to make those slow circles with releasing the hand, the right hand, you can do that as well. Again, we're drawing the belly buttons in, right? Activating the transverse abs so the spine reaches down towards the mat. And then reverse your direction. That's going to help us protect the low back from arching. Last time on that circle. Good, and wrap the hands around one more time. See if you can't pull the leg in just a little bit. Nice and careful to your own range. While you're here, gently slide that bottom leg back to bent. Cool. You can push that foot into the floor. Feel a little pressure. Relieve off the low back. Right? Drop that leg down, and we'll bring the other leg into the chest. Again, let's wrap all 10 fingers on that shin. I hear the church bells. I wonder if that means it's like 10:30. That's exactly what I'm going to use for my time, because those church bells ring on the hour. Like, it'll give me 11 dings on the hour. Yes. Okay, right leg, slide it out. Take your toes, inch, 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 inch. Till it is at your straight. Activate the bottom foot, the bottom leg, by pressing through your heel. Flex your foot on that right leg. And then we'll release the right hand. With the left hand, guide this knee, this hip in some circles. Again, activate the belly by pulling the abdominals in towards the spine. I think Kim says activate your mula bandha, right? Pulling up. We switched directions on the circle here. And again, if you're able to get those circles without holding on, go ahead, do that. Hold this center here. Again, we'll bring the hands on and pull this in a little closer to the body. Still activating through that bottom leg by pressing out. Inch the bottom leg back in all the way till the foot is flat onto the floor. Press into the floor a little bit, right? And release this top leg down. So our feet are side by side, and we'll bring the knees in together and squeeze them here. Give the knees a squeeze in together, activating these inner thighs a little bit, and hold there just by squeezing. We'll bring the arms up and out into the side, all right? I call it a cross position. Again, for now, our chins are facing up towards the ceiling and just tucked in a little bit, so you're lengthening through the back of the neck. One breath, inhale here. On your exhale, you're going to drop these knees over to one side. It really doesn't matter which side you drop them to. If you happen to have an extra blanket, or maybe you're not using the towel that you have for your head, you can always wind this up a little bit more and place underneath of the legs, right? It makes it a little bit less deep of this twisting stretch. And then you're going to take your chin and look the opposite direction of the knees. We're going to hold that for a couple breaths. Right, lengthen up. So think about bringing the ribs as you inhale. Again, the belly is expanding, the diaphragm is expanding, and the ribs are reaching up towards the chest. And then as you exhale, the ribs will fall back down towards the wrist, the waist. Working on keeping those shoulder blades on the mat. That's why it's a good idea to take and prop up the bottom leg, right, to help you keep that shoulder blade on the mat. We're getting a stretch in our neck by turning it opposite direction. And then on your next inhale, as you exhale, bring the knees back up slowly, gently towards the ceiling, and then take a breath here in the middle. On your next inhale, we'll drop the legs to the opposite side. Remember your option to place your towel underneath that bottom thigh. Shoulder blades on the mat. And then look the opposite direction for the next stretch. We're going to take at least 3 breaths here. Looking to do these poses today with ease, sukha, ease. No hesitation to take any of the prop options with the towel. I'm hearing some bees buzzing, which are concerning me a little bit. I'm going to try to let that go. Inhale, and then on your next exhale, we'll bring the knees back up into the chest. Not the chest, I'm sorry, to the ceiling. And then windshield wiper these knees back and forth, side to side. Loosen it up through the hips, the pelvis area. This should feel very gentle there for you. All right, take your time, turn yourself over onto your side. You bring the knees together onto your side. Kind of like we're coming out of Shavasana here. Take this top hand, right, place it firmly down on the floor, and then push yourself up. We're going to make our way to seated, so I want you to take your time, get there the best way for you. Options here to utilize our towel. I'm going to fold this almost as high as I can get it. I could, technically fold it one more time to get the most height, which I think I will. My hips are feeling a little bit tight today. And I'm going to sit on that nice, this feels so nice. I'm sure you guys, a lot of you have been doing some outside work. I know I've spoken to many people who are taking this time to do whatever outside gardening, cleaning up they can. And I'm sure that's creating a lot of tension, especially the neck in the back, the hips if you're bending down a lot, and the knees as well. It can be in the knees too. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall onto our bolster, our makeshift bolster, that's going to allow the hips to lean forward a little bit, right? Lengthening, opening out the knees. Now maybe the knees bent in this position is a little too much of bend in the knees for you. So feel free to slide them out further away from you, right? Or even maybe all the way out if the knee, opening of that hip is a little too much, right? But if you're able to, I definitely encourage you to try to keep the knees out to the outsides a little bit. That helps the pelvis roll a little more forward, and then you can sit up even taller, right? And that's what we're looking for. Nice and tall spine. Holding here for one breath. And then just slowly start taking your ribs and making some circles with the ribs. You're gonna find that it's a little bit of a cat-cow. So we inhale, the chest lifts up, and then exhale as you circle it back and behind. Inhale and lift, circle it behind. Gentle hands on the knees here. circle, circle, circle the ribs. They lift up, they circle to the side, and they go back. Notice which direction they were going, because we're going to switch directions now. Circle in the other direction. Don't bother me, bees. Good. Hold that center here. I'm just going to pull my legs back in. I'm just a little bit off balance here. Okay. Hold that center there. And now we'll do a little bit of a lateral movement. Not a little bit. It is lateral. All right. Left arm is going to come up. Reach this high up to the ceiling. I don't want you to lean yet. I want you to take this and lift it high up to the ceiling. Notice that feel in the side there, all the way down to even behind in that side of the low back. Yep, that arm is going to come down. We're going to take the other side straight up first. So reach this whole rib side up towards the ceiling. You're going to lean just a little bit and then down. All right, let's go back to the other side. Reach this up first. So we're reaching and lifting the ribs first. Then let's do a little bit of a lean to the side and then back down. Switching sides again. Up first, lift, lean over this side, and a little bit of a lean. All right, and down. Switch back, lift up, and lean. This time maybe it's a little bit further. We can use this hand down here on the floor to support. Bring this back up, through the big reach to the top, and then down. Other arm. Lift from the ribs. Lean over a little further. Inhale. And then exhale. Inhale, reach up. Lean. Furthest jet. Where can we go? Furthest jet. Inhale. And then down. One more time. Inhale, reach high. And exhale, lean over. Again, inhale. And back down. All right. Roll your shoulders to the back. Shoulder action one more time. All right, we're going to take the hands out to the sides. Again, might not be totally in the picture, but I don't, again, if you're just catching on, I don't want to be too far away from you. I want you to be able to hear me without me yelling. Arms are out to the sides, and we're going to turn the palms up to the ceiling for now, right? As you take a breath in, lift your chest up towards the ceiling, and then exhale, bring the arms, we'll meet the palms in the front. At the same time, we're going to push our belly button back towards our spine and reach the arms towards the front. Drop the chin towards the chest. Oh, feel that in the upper back, the low back, and then inhale, take this totally behind us. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Lift your chest. Right? If this is bothering your neck, keep the chin tucked and level. If you can, if it's all right for your neck, you're going to look a little up to the ceiling. Feel a nice stretch in the chest. And then we'll repeat that. Exhale, come all the way around. Reach the fingers as far front as you can. But you're pulling the belly button backwards to the back. And then inhale here. Lift up through the chest. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Opening up the heart here. Inviting a great day. And the arms are going to come down to the sides. Roll the shoulders to the back. Last time here. We're going to have the arms be real heavy, hands reaching towards the ground, right? If we have them here on our thighs, it's fine, you can do that. But if you put them down to the ground, like you're trying to reach and place your palm flat on the ground. Might not happen. It's going to depend on how long your arms are. But that's going to create a real heaviness in the shoulders, right? We don't have to really push very hard. Just let the gravity really hold those shoulders down. Keeping your chin right to the front of the room and then drop your ear over towards your shoulder. This is really going to depend on the flexibility of your neck, right? And sometimes you might have a stiff neck from sleeping weird, or gardening and holding your head over. Bring your head up, and let's take it to the other side. Gentle here. The important thing is to remember that make sure the chin is to the front, so we're not turning it down. Okay? That is a different stretch. You'll still feel it, but for right now, we're trying to get right on the side. And again, our shoulders are heavy down. And then bring the chin up towards the chest again. Now we'll go right and left, right? So keeping the head straight to the ceiling, the crown of the head up. Breath in, and then go ahead and turn your chin to the right. I love this. This is so nice. Inhale, center, and then go to the other side. Maintaining your breath. And then back to the center. Inhale, arms side. Hold them to the side. Actually, let's continue up. Keep breathing. Come all the way up. We'll do our twist a little bit and differently today. So we're going to inhale. As you exhale, you're going to take your right hand down to the floor behind you. Your left hand reaching and over in front of the right knee, on the outside of that right knee. As best you can, you're going to turn your head and chin and look to your right hand. So that will be down a little bit. So we're stretching a different area of the neck by taking the chin down a little bit. Inhale, and as you do, think about raising, again, still lifting and separating the ribs from the hips. And exhale. One more breath here. Okay. Slowly, as you inhale, the left arm is going to come back up. The right arm will follow. Breath in, and then exhale here. Left arm will go behind you. Right arm will come to the outside of the left knee. Breath in, and look behind at that left fingers. Nice, easy seated twist here. We did a laying twist, so now we'll do the seated twist. Inhale, the right arm is going to come up. Continue with the left arm to follow, and then exhale. Hands come down to the sides. Right, so we're now ready to come to a standing position to do some of our standing poses. So I want you to take your time and get there. A good way is to roll forward onto your knees. Pulling one leg through. And again, this is just helping if you need this, if you are already on your feet, or if you have a different way that works for you to get up, use that as well. We can hold on. I have a door here that I can hold on to as I stand up to the top. So at this point, I'm going to move my back so that you can see my head. I don't want my head cut off, I don't think. Ooh, my head's cut off from Insta. I'm going to turn this back around. Jeez. Sorry, Instagram. All right, if you are already made it onto your feet, find your mountain pose, right? Grounding down through, jeez, I'm sorry about this, Instagram. Grounding down through the feet, right? Wiggle the toes a little bit. Find heels underneath of the hips and wiggle these toes. play some piano, right? Help with the toe joints. And then rock yourself front to back from ball of the foot to heel of the foot. Find yourself settled in, so where you're fully grounded, right, through all corners of the foot. And then we'll take our arms down by the side with our palms facing the front, right? We'll start from the bottom, soften the knees just a little bit, right? Draw the belly button up, that helps, and lift up through the ribs. And then bring your shoulders up, back, and down, holding there. Keeping some tension in the shoulder blades, right? That's what's gonna help keep you upright in your nice tall posture. No tension in the shoulder blades, then I'm here. I feel like I'm rounded forward a little bit. Right? Tension in my shoulder blades, standing up nice and tall. Oh my goodness. I've never had that happen. No one's ever called me during class. Jeez Louise. Sorry about that. All right, are we back to our mountain? Remember, we're gonna let anything distraction in and then right back out. So let's refocus here. We're gonna take a big breath in. And as we do, lift the arms up over the top. Meet your palms in the middle, and then exhale, hands come down to our prayer position. We'll repeat that. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, heart center. Inhale, breath in. Exhale, heart center. Keep on bringing the palms down the front of the body, and as you do, tip from the hips, and then take your hands, release them, rest them on your thighs. Right? We still have a little slight bend in the knees because we don't ever want to lock out our joints. Right? But resting our hands on our thighs down towards our knees and flattening out through the back. I'll quickly show you what not to do here. Right? So press through the knees and reach long through the back. We're going to bend our knees, and then another breath. Inhale, reach. Heart center, slide them right down the front of your heart. Tip from your hips. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Lengthen long here. Awesome. Bend the knees. Sit back a little bit like you're going to your chair. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands right down the front of the body. Tip from the hips. Hands to the thighs and hold. Right? This is an option for our forward fold. We're going to do it one more time. I know I only said once, but we're going to do it one more time so that for those of you who are comfortable going into a full forward fold, you have the option to do that now. All right? Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands come right on down, tip from the hips, stop at the knees or forward fold here. Hold your forward fold. Either way, if you're on a full fold or your knees on your knees, bend back first to inhale to the top. Exhale, hands are going to come into heart center. So the reason for the bend of the knees before we come up to the top is to protect the low back. It gives you a little bit of help on that low back. Let's find our chair next. So we'll breath in. Keeping the hands up towards the ceiling, and your palms are turned in towards each other. I'm just going to so you can see. Palms are turned in towards each other, maybe even slightly to the back of the room. I think we need a hip flexor stretch doing this. I can feel it. Slightly towards the back of the room. Reach up here. Okay. Now, feet position, two different options. Slightly separated at the feet, or if it's comfortable to you, you can bring your feet together at the big toes, and then the heels are slightly apart. So you have a triangle there, right? Reach up, and then exhale as you sit back. Maybe you're pushing your knees together, right? Maybe they're not, they're separated. Either way, you're gonna find the position that's comfortable for you today. We're sitting the behinds back behind us. You have a quick look over the front of the knees and see that you can see your toes, okay? If you're not able to see the toes, then push the behind back behind you just a touch. Chair. Inhale to the top, and hands come down, exhale. Breath in, let's follow through. Inhale. Prayer hands are gonna come down in front. We're gonna forward fold. We're stopping at the knees, or we're stopping all the way down. Bend the knees, inhale, come up. Stop here in your chair before we come all the way up. Push the hips back, check out, see your toes. And then inhale back up to the ceiling, arms come down. Let's do that one more time. One more practice. Inhale, reach. Bring it down through the heart. Stop at knees or forward fold. Bend the knees and inhale the arms back up into our chair. Push heels down into the mat straight. Inhale tall. All right, fantastic job. Let's get a little more into the legs. Right, finding yourself in a warrior one. My mat moves all over the place on this chair. All right, so warrior one. We're gonna turn our right leg, right foot out towards the short edge top of the mat, okay? The back leg is going to be perpendicular to that, facing the long edge of the mat. A good guide is to look down and see if your heels are lined up, heel to heel, okay? If that presents a balance issue, then separate them a little bit more. Right. Walk the feet, inch them out to the comfortable position for you. Inch, inch, inch. Right. And then take the shoulders, and instead of facing the long edge of the mat with your shoulders, turn and face the short edge of the mat with your shoulders. Warrior one. Right? Inhale, you're going to reach the arms up and over the head. Again, focusing on lifting the ribs up off of the waist, the hips. And then as you exhale, bring your hands down and behind you. Place them gently on the low back. And then try to get the shoulder blades together in the back. Breath in here and exhale. Inhale the arms back up to the top, reaching, lifting the ribs. Take a breath in here, inhale, and then exhale, bring them back behind. Right, placing the palms on the low back, squeezing the shoulder blades back in together. Option, if you want, to clasp the hands together, right, and pull them away from the body a little bit. Breath up again. And exhale. This time, bring the hands to the hips and straighten out that front leg. As you breathe in and then exhale, a little lean to the front. Come on back up. Inhale and push into the front leg. Awesome. Exhale, push it up. We won't lean this time. I'm going to turn the foot for the pyramid down and then up one last time. Take that back leg. We're going to start changing this to a pyramid here. So we're going to walk and hop that back leg so it is a little bit more of on an angle more towards the front of the mat. We're going to extend this front leg here, keeping the chest lifted, and again we're turned over top of this right leg. Breathe in and then out. Fold forward here. Getting into the hamstring. Options, if it works for you, is to release the hands from the hips, and a little hold on the shin, right? We just want to make sure we're not folding down in, keeping a nice length in the back. Hands back to hip, inhale as you come up. So let's go through all three of those, okay? Turn the toe back out for our warrior two, right? Bodies towards the short edge, inhale, reach. And slowly exhale, bring the hands behind. Maybe you clasp them, maybe you rest. And lift into an inhale here. Inhale, reach. Turn the back toe around. We'll bring the hands to hips, straighten the front leg, and fold forward into a pyramid. Reaching from the crown of the head, inhale back up to the ceiling, and hold here, right? Let's turn both toes to face the same direction. Looking down at those feet and making them parallel to the short edge of your mat. Nice and parallel. Hands are on the hip here. They're going to stay here for this, right? Pull the kneecaps up the thighs by squeezing the glutes here. Breath in. And then exhale. Only coming halfway. We're only going to do halfway. If you need some support, you can use the hands on the thighs. Inhale, hands are going to come back nice and tall. Take this slow here. Oh, it's not a B. It's not a B. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands going to come through the heart center back to your fold. Feel free to bring the hands to the hips or gently on the thighs. Make sure we're not pushing the knees open here. We want soft. And the hands are on thighs. Maybe they're on the shins. Reaching through the crown of the head here. Bring your hands back to your hips. Bend your knees slightly and come on up from the hips. Tip. Roll the shoulders. Listening for the church bell. It's not here. Okay, let's head to the other side. So we're going to turn our left foot to the short edge. We've already got the right foot facing the long edge. And we'll give a quick look down somewhere around heel to heel alignment, and then turn the entire body facing the other direction, right? You should feel a stretch in the hip here. Feels nice, right? So warrior one, breath in here, and hold nice and big, nice and long. Now you have the options here to stretch these feet out, make them longer, right? Or shorter. Again, what's comfortable for you. We'll let those barking dogs in and out. As you exhale, bring the hands down behind you, right? Forearms on the low back. Squeeze the elbows together. A little bit of a back bend here if that's working for you, right? Again, breath up. And down, behind, squeeze, shoulders. Hold here for one more breath. Again, clasp those fingers together if you like, if that works for you. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Continue to keep the chest facing over top of this left foot. And then release in a breath up. Exhale, we'll come down, bring the hands to the hips, and turn the right foot a little more towards the front of the mat. Doesn't have to be totally, but on a slight angle. Extend the front leg and lean forward over top for that pyramid here. Still thinking long through the crown of the head, so we're reaching long. Options to drop this down and slightly hold, touch the shin. Slight bend in that front knee and inhale yourself up. We'll try that one more time. Breath in and exhale, fold. Nice breath in. And then we'll turn both feet back to the front of the room. Moving into some balance now, right? So we're gonna take the feet and walk them in. You can twist them in, or you can walk them in, right? Depending on what is working for you and your knee. Make sure that if you're doing some twisting, that you're real careful not to twist through the knee. So let's move into a tree. Again, we'll first find our ground balance here. And then we're gonna take let's do the right side. Take the right heel and lift it off of the floor. So you're shifting your weight to the left leg. Make sure this left leg has a slight bend in the knee. So we don't want that totally locked out, but we want a slight bend in the knee. Okay, I'm not sure what she's, okay. Slight bend, toe tap. Great, great. So take this right leg and turn it towards the outside. So squeeze your glute in the back. Turn this as far as your hip allows you to the outside. You stay here, right, with your kickstand, so your toe is down. Or you can start moving this foot off the ground. Oh, the fly finally came in. Moving this foot off the ground. I'm having trouble myself because I'm not being focusing on the flies. Right? Hands can come to prayer position here. Right? Options to continue to slide the foot up a little taller. I'm not going to do that, but if that works for you, go for it. One thing to keep in mind here is to take this left hip and push it up and in. So squeeze the left glute. Right? The difference is you're like kind of sitting into a baby hip, I call it, or what you want to do is push through that hip so that we're on a nice straight line there. Welcome to grow this up to the ceiling and sway, of course. Like Bob says, trees are always swaying. We'll bring the hands back down to prayer, slide the foot to the floor, and then the knee comes back around to the front. Place that down on the ground and do a little walk out here. And let's move on to the other side. So we'll shift our weight right? We want a slight bend in that knee. See if you can go right now by straightening up those hips. So squeeze the right glute and pull the hips up. Okay? We'll go on a toe tap, so lift the heel of your left foot. Heel of your left foot, right? And turn that side out. Sometimes when we make that turn, the hip goes, right? Pull the hip back in and then lift. If that's something that's in your practice today, lift off the floor. Keep squeezing both glutes, right? The one is going to stand you tall. The other one is going to open into our tree. We'll bring hands to prayer. And then again, options to grow it up. Nice and tall here. We try to find something that's not moving, a dristy. And you're going to find one side might be a little less challenging. Typical. All right, hands come down to prayer. Bring that leg back to the front and then slide it down, foot down, walk it out here. Making our way back down to the mat on our back so that we can finish up. We're going to be doing some bridges. We'll do some legs up the wall, and then we'll finish up with our Shavasana. So again, best way for you to get there, I want you to utilize that. Some options are, grab a hold of something you want to hold on to. to go down, one knee at a time. Then the other knee can follow. And come onto your side. Side first, and then end up on your back. What is this? This is a screw. Jeez. Finding all kinds of things on the floor here. Okay, so to your back with your knees to the ceiling. So basically the same way we started. How are we doing? Good. Even. All right. You can still use the tower bolster, makeshift bolster for your head, but we might find that you're going to need it in the bridges as well. So maybe you have two things. Right? I'm folding this up as pretty much as thick as I can get this. And then I'm going to place it underneath of my pelvis. I want the top of my support right along the shelf of the pelvis, right along the part it goes straight across the back. Hands are going to be at the sides, right? And then you're going to draw your belly button again, engage through the mula bandha, right? And push your heels into the floor, just enough that you can start feeling it through the whole backs of the legs, right? And the glutes. And then stop pushing your heels down. Feel the difference, right? So push your heels down again. You can feel it. It engages. Just driving those heels in engages the legs and the glutes. Lift yourself off of this bolster. Maybe you don't have one at all. You don't have to have one at all underneath of you. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we'll release that back down. We'll do that again. Exhale, lift off just a little bit. And then inhale it back down. Exhale, lift off a little. So you can kind of just barely feel your glutes brushing on, it's either the mat or your cushion. Again, this time come a little higher off of it, so you're not feeling it at all, but you really can feel the stretch in the hip flexors, the front of the hips here. Still pushing those heels down into the mat and really driving up, and then let it down. Breath up. A little bit higher maybe. Lift your toes off the floor so the heels are the only contact, and back down. A couple more like that. Lift up and back down. Take that at your own pace, right? One last time. Breath up. Hold this at the top here. And let it down. So our inversion for the day is going to be a relaxing inversion that I'm looking forward to. Oh, there go. Oh, Insta says poor connection. Jeez. Live video ended. Oh. Oh well. All right. So let's bring the knees up into the chest one at a time. You'll feel yourself like roll backwards because we have this push and this bolster underneath. That's great. That's what we want it to do because we're going to extend the legs up for legs up the wall. If you're close to a wall and you want to go ahead and take the actual legs up the wall position, go for it. You can make that change now. Right, otherwise we're going to extend the legs up to the ceiling And just kind of let them hang out there. The positioning of the towel or the bolster underneath, with it being right along that that shelf, I keep calling it the shelf of the pelvis, it allows it to drop back just a little bit, so the feet can hang up here with very little effort, really mimicking legs up the wall. We're going to take probably 3 breaths here. Can wiggle the toes and the ankles a little bit if they start feeling cold. But this will help us get the blood from the lower extremities back up to the core of the body. And keeping in the same position with the pelvis, let your knee fall in towards your chest, one knee, and then the other as well. So the feet are still up towards the ceiling. The knees are coming into the chest. It's really kind of squishing the abdominals a little bit. If you're able to, you're going to reach up towards the feet. Maybe it's the ankles, maybe it's the shins, right? But get your hands inside of the knees. So let the knees go out just a tad. Grab a hold of the toes or the feet, and then just shift yourself side to side, a little rock back and forth here. Happy baby. Keeping yourself here and now. And we'll release that. Pull the knees in together. Bring the heels back down towards the behind. And then one at a time, let the feet back to the floor, one at a time. Slide your feet again out to the outsides of the mat and let the knees knock in here. A little bit of support, it helps a little bit deeper into the hip flexors. Knees are going to come back up to the ceiling, and then you're going to lift off of your bolster, pull that out. And then we're going to make our way into Shavasana here. Find something comfortable, right? If you like to have your legs extended all the way out, but feel a little pressure on the low back when you do that, you can take this bolster, place it underneath of the knees, right? Kind of like if you've ever had a massage, they slide that bolster underneath the knees. Let the hips relax so the toes will fall to the outsides, corners of the mat. Palms are out to the sides, up to the ceiling. If you're uncomfortable with that, you can always place the palms onto the belly like we did at the beginning when we were practicing our breathing. Just start to bring in yourself back to all your body awareness here. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up. So being aware of the ankles, circle them or move them some way, point, flex, and then relax, let them go. Squeeze your quads, so straighten your legs out, squeeze your quads, and then relax, let them go. We're going to squeeze the glutes, right? You're going to feel your pelvis lift off the floor a little bit, so squeeze the behind, the backs of the legs, the hip, and then release it, let it melt into the floor. Moving up towards the torso, right, the abdominal area. Squeeze that in really tight, like you're trying to push down into the mat as hard as you can, and then let that go. Moving to the hands, make some fists, release. Take the shoulders, shrug them up to the ears, and then melt to the floor. Squinching up the face as hard as you can, and release it. Take your neck side to side a little bit here, rolling the head on the mat, and then let it come to rest in the center. Hold this position, all right, relaxed. Everything is melted into the floor. Right, doing your best to keep yourself right here, right now. Any distractions that come in, we'll let them in one ear and out the other. Let's slowly start to bring some awareness back to the body. Wiggling your fingers, your wrists, your toes and ankles. Apparently, I missed the church bells. Sorry about that. Bring your knees up into your chest. And rock those side to side. Find yourself on one side. fetal position or making your way up to seated, whichever is best for you. Keeping your eyes closed. I just looked at the time. Keeping your eyes closed. We'll take a nice breath in here, raise the arms up towards the ceiling, and exhale, we'll bring the hands down to prayer position. If you're still making your way up, no worries. A little bow to the prayer hands. Take a breath here. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste. Namaste. So, my apologies. Talk about getting carried away in your practice. That was me. I did not wear my watch today. That cannot happen again because our 45-minute class turned into over an hour. So, my apologies. I am really sorry for taking your time up longer than you had planned. I will definitely have to put that in the description that this turned out to be an hour today. It was just so beautiful and so nice and so relaxing, lost in my practice. Hopefully you were able to do the same. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. You guys have a great day. Thank you.